Hello, everyone. Hi, welcome to our service today. We have, for those of you who haven't noticed, we have a very special little guest with us today, Cynthia Jean, and she's being held back there by her dad. Isn't she adorable? We want to welcome everyone to our service this afternoon, all those watching virtually too. And we're going to start our service with our opening song, The Prayer of the Child of Love. It's right on the front of your songbook, and please stand.
Father, Mother, God, your kingdom come, your holy will be wholly done. Spirit, source of love, you flow through me, your loving child, eternally, every day, in every way, amen. Every day I will pray again. Father, Mother, God, your kingdom come, your holy will be wholly done. Spirit, source of love, you flow through me, your loving child, eternally, everywhere, let love be there, amen. Everywhere, this my prayer again. Father, Mother, God, your kingdom come, your holy will be wholly done. Spirit, source of love, you flow through me, your loving child, eternally.
Please be seated. And let's begin our meditation. I invite you to close your eyes if you're comfortable doing that, and just begin to really relax your body as we ground ourselves in this precious present moment. Now let's take our 3 deep fellowship breaths, using all of that exhale to release any tension, anything that's harbored anywhere in the body. Let's breathe in. Breathe in. Breathe in. And just follow our breath very naturally as our body calms in this stillness. As we bring our full awareness to the one divine presence, a magnificent energy of love that we live, move, and have our being in. And in this space of pure love, our hearts and minds soften and open, allowing the full flow of kindness, understanding, and compassion, radiating out from us in all directions, inspiring others to awaken to their divinity. May we look into the hearts of all beings, seeing beyond appearance and beyond personality, into the very soul of love. And together we say, and so it is. Thank you. We're going to invite Mighty Medicine up to do some special music. Please give them a warm welcome.
May I live a life of virtue to meet each newborn day, and everything I say and do be of service to the earth, I pray. And in my time of struggle, may comfort come to me. Lay gentle hand on my broken heart and tell me that I'm free.
It's such a beautiful song. I feel like I must have tapped into that before I created that meditation this morning. Thank you so much, Mighty Medicine. We're going to sing together today. I Am Responsible, one of our old favorites, and such a wonderful teaching song. You'll find it on page 18 of the songbook, and I invite you to stand if you're able and join in with us.
I am responsible for what I see. I choose the feelings I experience, and I decide upon the goal I would achieve, and everything that seems to happen to me. I ask for and receive as I have asked. I am responsible for what I see and ask for. I am responsible for what I see. I choose the feelings I experience, and I decide upon the goal I would achieve, and everything that seems to happen to me. I ask for and receive as I have asked. I am responsible for what I see and ask for. All right, one more time. I am responsible for what I see. I choose the feelings I experience, and I decide upon the goal I would achieve, and everything that seems to happen to me. I ask for and receive as I have asked. I am responsible for what I see and ask for.
Please stay seated. Please stay standing. And let's turn to our neighbors and everybody.
Before you take over. So, my scoop. That's the plan.
Right, well, if you don't do it, then I'm going to take you somewhere for the day, okay?
That's your scoop.
Is Julia here? Oh. I should.
I'm happy to introduce our speaker for this afternoon. It's our Reverend John Taylor. And yay! Yay! Applause for John. And one thing that I love about John's talks, beside his humor and intensity, is, and I love that about it.
Real.
It is. He does, and he speaks from what's happening in his life, and I think we all can relate to what he speaks to us about. So let's give John a warm welcome.
Hi everyone, how's it going?
Hey, John.
It's awesome that you guys came here to cheer me on and get a little spiritual food, so thanks for that. I really appreciate it. The topic, if there is such a thing, that I'm going to talk about is how to stay spiritual, how to stay in alignment with your highest and best good when adversity strikes, which I feel like is a pretty appropriate topic, not only now, but like always, like forever. Like there's always been crazy stuff, like there's always been storms, the Athenians had to deal with the Spartans, no offense to the hometown crowd. I mean, like there's always just been people that are like, oh my God, those guys. So it's like, here we go. So when you decide, we decide to engage in a life of spiritual growth, a lot of times it can feel like you're going up the wrong side of an escalator. Do you know what I mean? Like you're walking and you're working really hard and you're not making a whole lot of progress. You're swimming upstream. That would probably be a better example. And it can get thankless when you see some people on a national or global scale really like seeming to spring to the head of the line through literally nothing other than bad behavior. And, there is a quote that I want to share, and it's from Jane Austen, and I really like this. Manners are what hold a society together. Concern for other people is what makes a life worth living. Civility, even in the face of boorishness, appeals to our higher angels and better nature. And when it goes out the window, the gates of hell fly open, and ignorance is king. I really don't think I can describe like something more accurate. She was great. She knew how to nail them down. So this talk, can I get my water, please? Okay. This time, I get thirsty up here. So this talk, like a lot of the talks I do, is going to be 50% kind of mindsets, philosophy, 50% kind of tools that hopefully everyone finds kind of useful in day-to-day life. So let me start with, I had like a whole thing going. I was going to come here and talk about gratitude. And that's a great topic. There's a lot of meat there, a lot of awesome stuff. But I had a couple of things happen in my week that sort of, I felt like I needed to like heal from it. So the first one was, I take my dog out for a walk and there's this really beautiful tree that sometimes we sit under. And someone took it upon themselves to like whip really large sections of bark off of this tree. Like just deliberately. Like it looked like they sat there for like an hour and was just like, ha-ha! Like that. And like, if you know anything about trees and forestry, that's called girdling a tree. And it's a death sentence. It's done. It's over. Tree's been there for 50, 70 years. Someone decided, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to, And, okay, so that put me in not an amazing space. And then later in the week, I was walking my dog, and there was a large group of people, and they were having kind of a memorial service. And as I was walking by, my dog sniffed the trash that was a few feet from the sidewalk, as it frequently does. Dogs do that. And someone said that, that's a great way to get your dog shot. So what the heck, man? And kept yelling that as I walked away. Obviously, I talked to some people that I love and trust, and one of them said, yeah, it sounds like that guy was looking for a fight. And I have no doubt that he found it. Hopefully, and by grace, it wasn't with me. But you know what? It rubbed me the wrong way. Because here I am, and at the risk of sounding kind of up there, I'm trying to live the best way I can. So when someone comes over and purposefully kicks over my sandcastle, I'm sort of like, all right, what's going on here? Because, okay, at the risk, I've just done this a little too long to be like, oh, that was totally random. You know, like, cause like we just got done singing the song. Like, you ask for and then it happens. So like, as much as I would love to fall back in the loving, comforting, ignorant arms of, I was just standing there. You know, like, that's not really how this works. So whenever I or anyone acts rude or boorish or insecure or selfish, you're always coming from a place of ego. Well, what is that? Like, according to Ram Dass, your ego is what you get vested with at a very early age to be somebody in this world. And that can look very different from person to person depending on what your formative years looked like. And, you know, I really do believe that a lot of, if not all, of our problems come from this idea of needing to kind of armor ourselves up and get out there and be somebody in the world to prove that we're not nobody. I believe it. I mean, it's not. And one sec, guys. Just gotta take a drink. Okay. Thank you. So there's a great quote that I got from Alan Watts that I want to share with everyone, and it's that all dissatisfaction, unrest, big or small, originates from the false belief that you, all of us, are separate from the universe. And that the universe is not to be trusted because it's cold and indifferent to our very existence. And, you know, it's kind of a not like a real fuzzy quote, you know what I mean? But he goes on to say some other stuff. And it goes on to pretty much say that you're not alone. You're not alone. I'm not alone. We're all not alone. You're not any more alone and separate than a wave is separate from an ocean, or the leaves on a tree are separate from the trunk of the tree. We're all interconnected. We're all in this together. I like what Mary said about channeling the song that was said. Like, I really do believe that, you know, humans are way more telepathic and connected than we're giving ourselves credit for at this phase of our journey here on Earth. And we're all doing the best we can. And, you know, when you're in your ego, that's the absolute opposite of that interconnectedness. You're kind of in your tiny lifeboat, and, you know, you're going to show the world. And I think the opposite for that, the way you stay out of that lifeboat, is, and if no one's told you this today, I'll tell you it now. You, all of you, are lovable just the way you are. You don't got to do anything. You don't got to give me one more lap around the track. Like, no matter who you are, where you are, there's a part of you, there's most of you that's lovable. And then there's some areas that we all got to work on. You know? I know I do. Believe me, I'm not like up here trying to be like, oh, you guys should do all that. Yeah, like, I know I'm a work in progress, for sure. For sure. So one of the more practical day-to-day tools that I like is glasses half full thinking. Pessimism, you know, another day older and deeper in debt, you know, you're rolling the boulder just uphill to watch it come down again. That's like literally for me the kiss of death on anything spiritual. And I can believe with my heart and soul that love is still the answer. Looking for the good in people is still the answer. Sometimes you got to look pretty deep. Sometimes you got to look deep. I mean, like, but, you know, you can't be hateful and joyful at the same time. You can't be loving and upset at the same time. So it kind of comes down to making a choice. And sometimes, and believe me, I'm not trying to make this sound easy. Sometimes it's hard to choose it, but for me, it always is more rewarding. And I think that had a large part to do me getting ready for this talk, doing the prep work, reading the authors, putting it all together, my little PowerPoint. This helped me heal from those not so great experiences. So, you know, thank you for this opportunity. And I would say that this is a practice. You know, looking for the good in people is a practice. Looking for the bright, being a bright side man or woman, that takes time and effort. It really does take some effort sometimes when it just feels like there's like a torrent of bad information. Stay away from the news. Like, literally, do it. Like, do it. If there's one thing you remember, like, just stay away. Like, yeah, like, I do okay-ish at that. You know, if we can do that, if we can like work, and really it comes down to focusing on yourself. I mean, if someone's acting like a jerk, if someone like a coworker or a friend or a family member, you know, sometimes the only, like that, some of the things I say with my sponsor, I remember is, if it's 90% their fault and 10% your fault, we're going to focus 100% on your 10%. So you can be a better man. You're not doing it to punish yourself. You're not doing it to like really deep dive on how you're not ready yet. You know, it's just, how well do you want to get? How happy do you want to be? For me, I really want the dividends of this spiritual life. I want to get up there. Okay, so in having a beginner's mind in all of this, like understanding that there's a beginning, a middle, and an end is super important. I need to tell you guys that when all these events happened to me, I did not start at looking for the good in everyone. Okay? That is not like the first place my mind went. So some intimates in my life got to see John Uncut, which this is not. This is me having a week to decompress and be like, oh, well, that's an interesting point. Like, but me in the moment was like, man, this is why I'm praying for another ice age. You know, like, you know. No, probably shouldn't have included that. But, you know, when you, and I love this, this was a Wayne Dyer. Sometimes the most beautiful spiritual flowers grow out of the stinkiest, grossest manure. And that's what it's about. So there was this channel that we got for a while on the streaming services called Gaia. And I don't know if anyone's ever heard of this, but it's like kind of like a combination of spiritual and scientific documentaries. And there's this guy on there named Mateus. And he talked about this idea of there being light workers and this idea of there being shadow workers. And how light workers create growth. And shadow workers also create growth through, wait for it, creating a healing crisis. People look at them and they're like, oh my God, this is so awful, we have to do something. I feel like we're kind of living through that a little bit, you know? I feel like that's kind of what's happening globally right now. So I want to share a couple of tools that I think are really, really super helpful in this day-to-day thing. Okay, the first one is feel feelings. Okay? Feel feelings. The good ones, the bad ones, the righteously indignant ones, the ugly ones, the pretty ones. You don't get a Purple Heart, gold ribbon, silver star spiritually for just jumping right to, well, you know, that's the way the cookie crumbles. You know, like feel feelings. It's really... Actually, it's not a sign of being emotionally or spiritually fit if you're suppressing all that and locking it down. There's a great Buddhist teacher that I love. His name is Jack Kornfield. And he has this quote, I love it. The tigers of rage are wiser than the horses of instruction. That it's kind of deep. It means, like, to me, it means, like when you're angry about something, that's the yeast in the bread. That's what makes it rise up. That's the grit in the oyster. That's like the thing that's going down, that's like your pole vault pole to help you get over the next like leap or hurdle in your spiritual growth. So, you know, Pama Chodra, welcoming in the unwelcome. You know, doing that whole thing. Like when something nasty shows up. I don't know if I'm quite here, but being like, oh, thank you. You know. That also is some graduate level stuff. You don't need to leave here being able to do that. Okay, when someone's acting like a huge jerk, whether they're in front of me or on TV, if it's hysterical, it's a story. Like, so if it really sends me way, way up the wall, then I know it's tethering back to something in here that has yet to be healed. Like it's going way back. It might be a kid, I might be an angry teen, I might be getting fired at my first big job. Whatever it is, it's touching on a part of me that's extra crispy. So I gotta watch out for that. Because if it's an overscaled proportion, out of proportion, like response, then that means there's something there. There's something there. And, you know, I have a friend of mine, and he's a state police officer, and I remember talking to him once after a meeting. I was like, yeah, what's it like being a cop? And he was like, you're literally invited into everyone's worst day of their life. and I did not, I didn't expect that answer. I thought I was going to say something, it's really cool to drive through town at 90 miles an hour or something but it's when you're seeing someone behave bad, I got to remember, this guy that tells me he's going to shoot my dog, he's at a memorial service. We got no idea. I think that's an awful thing to say. I wouldn't say that to anyone. I'm not giving him a pass. That's crappy, right? But I have no idea how he processes grief. I don't know if that's his kid in the ground. I've got zero clue what has put him in that spot right there. I think about this a lot. We were recently in New York City. I think about this a lot when I'm in the crush of a lot of people. I'm like, whoa, everyone has lived their life up to this point to be right here with me. So that guy's lived his entire life with all the goods and bads to be right there in that moment. And some of the biggest jerks are your biggest teachers. You shouldn't seek them out. Trust me, they'll come to you naturally. I believe that way down here. You don't got to search them out. Trust me, it's all good. Everyone takes the course. This is a hard one. They're gonna ramp up in difficulty as we go. One of the best one-liners I've ever heard from the program is, "I love you very much. I just don't love how you're acting right now." That's separating the person from the behavior. It's tough to do, especially in the moment. For me, I get better at this once some time has gone by. If I'm in a safe space and I'm able to look in the rear view and be like, okay, that maybe contributed. But in the moment, if I can do this, I can bypass a lot of stuff that's painful for me. The reason I'm sharing this is when I stay in that place of being angry and resentful, it hurts me. That's why I do this. It'll be awesome if that guy has a spiritual awakening and just cuts that out and is super cool. But I control literally none of that. The most courageous thing any and all of us can do to make this world heaven on earth is do your own work. And believe me, I got a lot left. Okay, this is from Gal Ruiz, the guy that wrote 4 Agreements. It's never, ever, 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 ever about you. Ever. It's never, ever about you. Even if it feels directly talked to you, someone was like, hey, I have something to tell you about you. It's never about you. It's always, and this is, someone told me this is great. This is not what he said, but it's always about their relationship with God, or their relationship with their fellow man, or their relationship with people, or something like that. What you're getting to see is a window into how someone else problem solves when the chips are down and the stress is high. And that doesn't give anyone a pass, okay? None of this is designed to be so, in conclusion, let everyone walk over you. None of this gives anyone a pass. But it is good to remember this when you feel embattled, when you want to pull into your turtle shell. Everybody's doing their best. I'm always doing my best. Your best looks different from day to day. I remember this so clearly. I had a sponsor once say, yes, everyone is doing their best, but some people's best is awful. Yeah, that's a real important conclusion to that sentence. To me, just to write it off as, well, they're trying real hard, it's kind of like telling half the story. Do you know what I mean? So when you're in a situation like this, pragmatically speaking, get out of there. If someone's trying to harm you or bring you down a notch or any of that, protect the gates of your serenity carefully. Get out. Everyone, nobody ever deserves to be victimized. Ever. In any circumstance. That's totally against what being here and being a human is, in my perception. And get some help. Go to where the love is. This week, I felt, I was mad. When all this stuff happened, I was mad. And I have spent the week talking to friends, talking to sponsors, talking to friends at this fellowship, really checking in. That is when I radioed my support team. is when I'm in trouble. I wish I reached out more when things were good. Hey, all quiet on the Western Front, thanks, click. I mean, like, but I reach out for help when I am like, well, I don't know. I guess I'm out of good ideas. Okay, and now it's time for our graduate level course, friends, which is, brace yourself, pray for the other person. And I'm telling you to pray for the people that have harmed you. And I'm going to read a little sheet. This is out of the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous. It's a spiritual book, I think. I think there's a lot of good stuff in there. And I'll just read it word for word. If you have a resentment and you want to be free of it, pray for the person that you resent and you will be free. If you ask in prayer for everything you want for yourself to be given to them, you will be free. Ask for their health, wealth, prosperity, happiness, and you will be free. Even when you really don't want it, and your prayers are only words, and you don't mean it, go ahead and do it anyway. Do it every day for 2 weeks. And you will find that you come to mean it. And you will want those things for them, authentically. And you will realize where you used to feel bitterness, resentment, and hatred, you will now feel compassionate, loving, understanding. Okay, so to summarize, praying that they go to heaven real soon counts. Start where you can start. Start where you can start and yank yourself up. You know, it's like look for a handhold in the side of the cliff that's strong enough to support yourself to get to something else. I remember my sponsor Jerry used to say that all the time. Like, well, start with they go to heaven real soon, you know, like, and I did that. I used to do that, and over time, in that 2 week span, it does shift, and this shifts as well. So I'm going to do a quick meditation about making space for healing and setting aside anger and bad juju. And Corey, if we could, thank you, bud. I appreciate the assist. Okay, so let's relax a little and just sit back in our chairs. Just gonna have a quick drink, friends. Thanks, guys. And let's just take a nice deep breath in. Inside it up. And then take another deep breath in and sigh it out. And let's just take a second to recognize that we, royal we, are all here together on this beautiful planet together to learn from one another. And that no matter how crazy it seems, our mission, the big mission in life, is to walk each other home. They're going to be friends. They're going to be spiritual guides. They're going to be people that hold the lantern for you, that help you find your way. And candidly, they're going to be people that are hurdles in your path, that are going to teach you things about yourself that you would not have learned without their intervention. I want you to take a moment to try and feel grateful for both. And let's breathe into that, taking a deep breath in and exhaling. And what I'd like to ask for all of us is there might be someone or something that's top of the stack when I mention feeling upset, feeling oppressed, feeling hurt. I would like you to take a moment, not to think about that. I don't want anyone going down or in a good space, but to just maybe try to reframe it just a touch. And try and presence the tiniest amber of forgiveness and self-love for yourself. Just a little bit. All I need is a wisp to get a campfire going. That little light of forgiveness. It's just tiny. And in your mind's eye, just imagine blowing on the fire and just seeing it get a little bigger and a little warmer. And maybe it's like melting the ice a bit around that resentment or that fear or that old hatred. Whatever it is, it's melting it, it's moving it, it's creating a flow. And that flow, that motion is a sign of life. That's a sign of forgiveness. That's a sign of a higher power working through each and every one of you. And now take a moment to consider how many friends and how many family members and how many teachers have been there alongside you in your journey of life. There's been a lot for me, I know. I absolutely could not do any of this without their help. And how many people have been instrumental in bringing us to this safe and sacred space together so we can grow up just a little bit together and be the highest and best spiritual family that we can be together. And, you know, families are weird. You don't get to pick them, but you can always learn to love them. And it sometimes is a learning process. So let's just take a couple more deep breaths, please. One through the nose. And sigh it out. And then take another in through the nose. And sighing it out. And whenever you're ready, maybe just wiggle your fingers and toes. And just come back to your chair in this beautiful room full of beautiful souls. And whenever you're ready, open your eyes. All right, I love you all. Thanks so much. That was a great talk.
Thank you, John. That was wonderful. Lots of good reminders. Good to give ourselves permission to not have it all figured out. Thank you. So let's just take this moment to take a deep breath again and fill our hearts with gratitude to everyone who gives their generous donations to this spiritual community, our fellowship. John is going to come around with the basket today.
John's not here.
I was thinking about John not being here. Richard is going to be coming around. And as he does, just hold your contribution in consciousness and envision a healthy and thriving and financially stable fellowship. Corey?
Grateful, I am grateful. 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 Grateful, I am grateful.
And if you would join me, please, as we read together the blessing of our tithes and offerings. It's on the front of your bulletin. The light of divine love shines eternally, blessing and multiplying our tithes and offerings, I joyously give, knowing I always have enough to share and to spare. Thank you so much. And again, let's take a moment to go within and just wrap our loving, loving arms around everyone who's listed in the basket today. Allowing ourselves to be that free flow of love. Extending to them the purest of love so that they might become aware of their divinity, of their connection, so that all their needs can be met. And together we say, and so it is. We have time today to do our second fellowship song, which is awesome because it underscores, again, something that John talked about in his message. Please turn to page 30, and we'll sing Love is the Answer. Please stand.
Whatever the trouble I find myself in, no matter the difficulty, when my back's to the wall and there's nowhere to run, the door's closed and I don't have the key. The walls start to crumble, my world's caving in, I've lost my security. I feel that no one in the world understands. I'm lost and confused and lonely. Love is the answer. Love is the key. Love is the answer to the questions for me. Love is the answer. Love is the key. Love is the answer to the difficulty. There comes a time in everyone's life when you come to the fork in the road. I know that some changes have got to be made, for I'm carrying too heavy a load. I don't understand the position I'm in. I don't know which way the wind blows. I'm looking for answers, but none seem to come. I'm wondering which way I should go. Love is the answer. Love is the key. Love is the answer to the questions for me. Love is the answer. Love is the key. Love is the answer to the difficulty. To the difficulty.
We gotta find our way back to this fellowship sway. Some people were doing it. Okay, let's welcome. Yeah. But we can do it. We can do it.
Yeah,
We can do it. So, Mighty Medicine, please join us up here, and we'll hear another song from you.
I like that saying, I love you, but I don't love your behavior. memory banks over the years.
Me too.
Yeah, let's give John another hand for his talk. Give Doug a hand. And I think that the song that we're going to sing ties into what you were talking about as well.
Everyone should sing along on this.
Yeah, please sing along. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing's gonna be alright. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing's gonna be alright. Rise up in the morning, smile at the rising sun. 3 little birds pitch my doorstep, singing sweet songs, of melodies pure and true, of melodies pure and true. Singing, this is my message to you. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing's gonna be alright. Singing, don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Let's sing the verse again. Rise up in the morning, smile at the rising sun. 3 little birds, 3 little birds pitch my doorstep, singing sweet songs, of melodies pure and true, of melodies pure and true. Singing, this is my message to you. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Sing, don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Don't worry. Sing it again. Sing, don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Singing, don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Every little thing, 'cause every little thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Every little thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Last time. 'Cause every little thing is gonna be alright. And thank you for welcoming our baby Cynthia Jean today. So happy to have her.
What a great service. Thank you, everybody. Dad and Cynthia were dancing over there. That was so cute. I want to say thank you to all of you for being here with us this afternoon. Thank you, Corey, for your wonderful music. Thank you, Mighty Medicine. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, John, for your great message. And thanks to all who are watching now or will watch in the future. We appreciate your being with us at the fellowship. I have just a few announcements. Please come and join us on September 7th at 6:30 here in this building for our Sing Out for Peace. It's a fellowship-sponsored sing-along that is going on with all of the other Peace Quest events throughout the month. Healing Movements every Monday with Julie Dillon at 4 p.m. and Chair Yoga at 4 p.m. on Thursdays. And Reverend Sue Quinn is going to do her Waldemar Walk September 1st at 12:30 p.m. And the monthly Death Cafe for September is on Saturday, September 20th at 2 p.m. here in the building. And please stay and join us for potluck and have some more good conversation together. Let's join in our peace circle and say our closing blessing.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternal.